Welcome to Top Table Gaming. This is a top 5 video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 5 Rohan heroes. Welcome to Top Table Gaming. You're here with your host Top Table Ben, and I'm here to deliver another top 5 video, and this time about my top 5 Rohan heroes. This video was inspired by our patron, friend of the channel and all-round good guy Matt Prescott, who was discussing Rohan heroes with earlier this week. And after we had a brief conversation about which heroes he should pick up for his fledgling Rohan army, it got me thinking about my top 5 choices. As always, these top 5s are my thoughts, feelings and opinions, and everyone's mileage with different heroes may vary, but if you agree or disagree with any of my choices, make sure you're popping them down in the comments below. If it's your first time watching the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and are clicking the bell button to be notified whenever we post a new video. Rohan is a pretty formidable army, and there's nothing more daunting than being sat across the table from an all-mounted force of brave Rohirrim. This force is in its element when everyone is mounted, so assume that I'm including horses when discussing any of these profiles. And if you want a refresher on why you should always mount your heroes, check out my previous video on this topic. Rohan have a solid choice of heroes to choose from, and some that really synergise well together. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at my top 5 Rohan heroes. In at number 5 is Eomer, Marshal of the Riddermark. Eomer is the closest thing to a beat stick that Rohan has. For optimal play, you'll want to arm him with a shield for +1 defense and an armoured horse, bring him to a hefty 120 points when fully kitted out. His stat line has strong numbers in all the right places, including Fight 5, Defense 7 when you're given a shield, and 3s in all the right places. He also has access to Heroic Strike, which is one of the most frequently used heroics in the game. He has both the Horse Lord and Expert Rider special rules, and also he has a unique special rule called the Price of Grief, which allows Eomer to add +1 to his wound rolls if either Eowyn or Theoden are slain whilst in the same force. Whilst losing Eowyn or Theoden, more on them later, can be seen as a negative, it provides a solid boost to Eomer's killing power, so all is not lost. In at number 4 is Deorwine, Chief of the King's Knights. Whilst not making it into the Lord of the Rings films, Deorwine played an important part in the books as Chief of the King's Knights, and was part of the fearless charge across the Pelennor Fields. Deorwine boasts a solid stat line with Fight 5, Defense 7 and 2 attacks and wounds. Typical of a named captain, he has 3 points of might and a single point of will and fate. At 85 points when mounted, he is by no means a cheap hero, but he does have some advantages over other options. More on them shortly. Much like Eomer, he has access to Heroic Strike and also Heroic March, which will allow you to your already fast moving force to move even quicker across the table. He has the Expert Rider and Horse Lord special rules, and also has the Bodyguard special rule, the latter being super useful for charging terrifying opponents or late game standfasts. The extra special rule that really sets Deorwine apart though is for Theoden, which allows Deorwine to call a heroic combat without using might when within 12 inches of Theoden. With his 2 attacks or 3 on the charge, Deorwine can do a fantastic job of chewing through infantry each turn, leaving his might store to call heroic moves or to might up when killing. Overall, this special rule can help you quickly kill your opponent's troops over the course of a couple of turns. In at number 3 is Gamling, Captain of Rohan. In the films, Gamling took the place of Deorwine and is a close advisor to Theoden. Gamling's profile is nowhere near as strong as some of the others already in this list. His fight value of only 4 only matches some troops, so isn't super strong in combat and can't be relied on to consistently win fights, even against relatively lowly opponents. He has the standard named captain traits of 2 attacks and 2 wounds, 3 points of might and a single point of will and fate. At 65 points when mounted, he is relatively cheap though, so can be used as a basic captain to help fill out points at lower levels. Where Gamling really brings some value though is in the Royal Standard of Rohan. Whilst not cheap at an additional 50 points, this precious heirloom is a banner, but also allows any heroes within 3 inches that are out of might at the beginning of the turn to add 1 to their store. This rule really is amazing. Whilst Gamling is alive and within 3 inches of your heroes, they essentially have a limitless supply of might points. For this force, this is invaluable as it keeps them moving and charging even when losing priority, as they can call heroic move after heroic move. The more heroes in force, the more valuable this becomes, but more on that a little bit later. In at number 2 is Dernhelm. Dernhelm is the alter ego of Eowyn, who was so desperate to fight alongside the Rohirrim she disguised herself as a warrior and took Merry along with her. This is a unique profile in Middle-earth SBG, as it is essentially made up of 2 individual profiles being Éowyn and Merry with a combined stat line and special rules. This profile already includes a shield and horse, so at 75 points this is a bargain. With a fight value of 5 and 3 attacks, or 4 on the charge, Dernhelm should be winning the majority of combats against troops and low level heroes, especially when combined with the 2 standard points of might, which can go up to 3 when including Merry's. Access to Heroic Strike will also allow her to go toe to toe with some bigger heroes too, while she is only on strength 3, rolling 8 dice on the charge to wound, even at low strength, is really going to hurt. What's more is that Dernhelm essentially gets 2 points of might back per turn if within banner range of Gamling, 1 for Éowyn and 1 for Merry, which makes this profile even more valuable to a Rohan army. In at number 1 is of course the king of Rohan himself, Theoden. No Rohan army would be complete without Theoden, especially one that includes Riders of Rohan or Royal Guard. Theoden's profile is suitably kingly, with a fight value of 5, 2 attacks and wounds, and 3 points of might and will. As he sadly dies in the films, he only is blessed with 1 single point of fate though. When optimally kitted out with heavy armour, shield and armoured horse, he comes in at around 100 points. His 4th and Fear No Darkness special rule gives Theoden a 12-inch standfast, where Theoden really excels is the buffs that he gives nearby cavalry. Theoden provides a major buff in fight value of +1 to Riders and Rohan Royal Guard within 12 inches on a turn in which they charge. This means that Royal Guard in most cases are matching heroes on fight value, definitely not to be sniffed at. Combining this with their +1 strength on the charge as per the army bonus can make Rohan very deadly, and you can see why it's key that they are always charging. For this reason alone, Theoden makes it to my number 1 spot in my top 5 list. Now, although these heroes are all great individually and make great leaders for your warbands, there is another way to play these heroes very effectively all together in an all-hero force. If you refer to the Riders of Theoden Legendary Legion, which all of these heroes fit within, they have the special rule Death, which represents the charge of the Rohirrim across the Pelennor fields. This special rule allows every friendly Rohan hero within 12 inches to call heroic combat or strike for free on a turn in which Theoden calls it. So look at it this way. Every hero calls a heroic combat whilst on the charge. They each kill 2 to 4 warriors in the turn, using all their might to do so, and then on the following turn each get a point of might back and are able to call heroic moves or combats yet again. Within 2 turns most enemy armies will be well on their way to being broken. Just need to make sure that you are keeping Gamling alive and all heroes close to him to make use of his banner, and you have a very formidable and hard hitting force. So that's it folks, what did you think of my top 5? Any other heroes you'd pick? Have I missed anyone out? If you agree or disagree with any of my points, make sure you pop it in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're having a look in the description below. We have loads of links to our social media accounts and Patreon. As I said, thank you very much to Matt Prescott for suggesting this topic. And if anybody else is interested in becoming a patron, make sure that you check out that link and I might be able to answer any of your questions or give you my thoughts on any topics around Middle-earth if you join. Thanks again guys, see you later.